It started with a whisper. No one could say who first spoke of the market, but by midnight, the story always reached someone desperate enough to listen. They said that behind the city, beyond the hum of traffic, past the crumbling billboards, and beneath the flickering street lamps, there was a place where shadows could be bought and sold. You could trade yours for luck, wealth, love, or freedom. But only the brave, or the foolish, dared to go looking. Amara was tired. Tired of the endless noise of the city, tired of waking before dawn just to squeeze into a crowded bus, tired of the glassy smiles of her coworkers and the mountain of unfinished files that never seemed to end. Her 9-to-5 job had become a slow death, and every evening, when she dragged herself home, she'd stare at her reflection and wonder when she'd stopped feeling alive. One night, as she sat by her window, the old radio on her table crackled, though it hadn't worked in years. Through the static, a voice whispered. "Trade your shadow, free your soul." Amara froze. The message repeated once, then faded. She thought she imagined it, until she stepped outside. At the far end of the street, a man in a dark wrapper and a wide-brimmed hat was watching her. His eyes gleamed like polished stone. When she blinked, he turned away, but his voice floated back to her. "Behind the city, where the lights don't reach. Ask for the keeper." That night, curiosity led her down the narrow alleys that smelled of smoke and wet earth. She followed the whispers, each one tugging her deeper into the city's hidden side. And there it was, the shadow market. Lanterns hung low, glowing blue and green, casting strange reflections on the ground. People moved like silhouettes, buyers, sellers, seekers. Tables were covered with glass jars that pulsed faintly, each holding something that twisted and shimmered like smoke. The keeper stood at the center, draped in fabric as black as ink. His smile revealed teeth that were too white, too perfect. "What do you seek, Amara?" he asked, though she had never told him her name. "I want freedom," she said. "I want to stop living a life that isn't mine." He nodded slowly. "Then you must trade what ties you to it, your shadow." Amara hesitated. Her shadow stretched on the ground beside her, trembling as if it already knew. "It will serve you," said the keeper, "bring you luck and ease. But remember, a shadow is not easily owned once it learns it can walk." She signed the parchment anyway. The keeper placed his hand over hers, and for a moment, everything went dark. When she opened her eyes, her shadow bowed to her, a living thing, before slipping back under her feet. That night, Amara dreamed of open skies and soft laughter. The next day, her boss quit unexpectedly, and Amara was offered the position she'd always wanted. Her life began to bloom like a flower after rain. Money came easily. People noticed her. Opportunities opened wherever she went. She thought the stories were lies. Until her shadow began to move differently. At first, it was small, a flicker that didn't match her motion, a delay when she turned her head. Then it started standing still when she walked away. One evening, she came home and found it waiting on the wall, arms folded. Its head tilted in a way she'd never done. "I made you," she whispered. "You belong to me." But the shadow only smiled, her smile, sharper now, and stepped away from her. From that night on, it began to live its own life. It walked when she slept. It whispered to strangers in her voice. It touched what she didn't dare touch. It desired what she had buried deep, power, pleasure, and freedom without consequence. Amara tried to ignore it. Until one morning, she woke up and her reflection was empty. Her shadow had not returned. She ran through the city, searching every alley, every corner. The light bent strangely around her, as though even the sun refused to follow. Desperate, she found her way back to the market. The lanterns burned lower now, the whispers harsher. "The keeper," she cried. "I want my shadow back." The keeper stood before her, his eyes dark and endless. "Your shadow does not belong to you anymore, Amara. It has tasted freedom. It walks the world now, just as you wished. I didn't wish for this, she pleaded. I only wanted to be free. He leaned closer. And you are. But tell me, what are you without your shadow? Amara's knees trembled. She looked down, there was nothing beneath her feet. No shape, no trace of herself. Please, she whispered. Take it back. The keeper smiled softly. Only one way. Trade again. Something of equal worth. Her voice broke. What could be equal to a soul? He raised a hand, and the market fell silent. Another life. The blue lanterns flickered once, and then went out. No one knows what Amara chose that night. But sometimes, when the moon is low and the wind carries strange whispers, people say they see a woman walking the alleys behind the city, her body faint, her feet never touching the ground, and a shadow beside her, walking free. They say the shadow market still opens at midnight. And somewhere in its heart, the keeper waits, smiling, always smiling, for the next soul ready to trade their light for freedom. Moral lesson from the shadow market. True freedom does not come from escaping who we are but from understanding and accepting ourselves. When we try to trade away the parts of us we dislike, our fears, our struggles, our shadows, we risk losing the very essence that makes us whole. Desire without self-awareness can lead to destruction. The things we chase in desperation, success, power, or freedom, often come with unseen costs. Real peace comes not from magic or shortcuts, but from confronting the darkness within and learning to live in balance with it. Sparkles, be careful what you wish for.
If you enjoyed this story and want to experience more captivating Nigerian folktales, urban legends, and supernatural mysteries, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Tales from Mother Estate. Your support helps us bring more magical, thought-provoking stories to life. Join our family, tap the bell so you never miss an adventure, and share your thoughts or personal stories in the comments below. Let's keep our spirits strong together. See you in the next tale.